Hey, welcome everybody. My name is David. I'm part of the team here at Northwest Christian Church. And here's my friend Kerry.
We're glad that you're joining us for life groups, especially during the Christmas season.
Christmas really is my favorite time of the year. I love almost every part of it. But honestly, there's often this tension between excitement and stress because there are so many gifts to buy and wrap. Kerry, you have my gift yet?
There's so many parties to attend, cards to get out, family times, feasts to plan. Rather than excitedly anticipate, we often rush to do as many things as possible until the final arrival of Christmas. And we miss out on so much from the sheer exhaustion.
Well, this year, NCC celebrates the Advent of Christmas. Now, the word Advent simply means coming. So at NCC, we want to celebrate the coming of Jesus to this earth. And so we're going to use this Advent period, this Christmas season, as a time of adventure.
Part of the adventure is our worship team sharing with you each week a special song of Advent. We're kicking it off for this week with O Come, Emmanuel.
This is one of my favorites. It's a song of prophecy and a song of hope. And we're reminded that Jesus is coming to earth. Now, this song was written somewhere between the 8th and the 12th century.
Yeah, and that's long time ago. It's probably the Dark Ages, and civilization seemed broken down and humanity was sliding backwards into more chaos, ignorance, and seemingly unending wars.
Sounds a lot like today, which is one of the reasons I like this song, because it still encourages millions of people, even in this 21st century, expressing the hope and the truth of Christmas, the fulfillment of ancient prophecies and the birth of Christ, Emmanuel, God with us. And so we rejoice.
So please listen, sing along. We hope that you enjoy.
O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appears. Come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come
I'm Kent Whitaker, and I attend Northwest Christian Church at the Tigard campus. My wife and I started there right after we started meeting back in person a couple of years ago. Today I wanted to talk to you about a point in my life where I found myself really literally devastated. I had, as many of you might know, I'd gotten clean and sober back in 1983, and in 84 I got married. I was married to a lady, and over the course of the next 18 years, we had 3 children. And in 2002, she left our family. She left me with 3 children, and overnight I became a single dad. It had been a troubled marriage, so it wasn't a total surprise, but nonetheless, it left me really without any hope. I didn't have family. I didn't have friends. The church I'd been attending for 18 years even, I didn't have anybody show up to come alongside me. So there I was with 3 kids, and fortunately I had a good job that provided me the income to pay the rent and cover the expenses. But it really devastated me. It was a time in my life where I realized that all my best efforts had not been good enough. I had really put a lot of effort into a career that I was working on, a real estate career, and trying to, and I think I was a good dad and a good husband, but that didn't pan out for me. I'd always been a Christian. I'd always had a good relationship with the Lord, especially when I was able to come out of the drug addiction and alcoholism that I referenced there in 1983. I realized that God could do for me what I couldn't do for myself. So I turned to the Lord at that time in 2002, really for lack of having anybody else to turn to. It was me and the children and Jesus Christ. And I was really going on my own, with my own power and my own, ideas and my own, I'm going to make this happen sort of an attitude. And what I learned is that really had marginalized my faith in the Lord. But in 2002, I was put face to face with a failure and a trust that I had put in another person and a marriage, and I had all my hopes for the future and everything were taken away from me. Yeah, I was really at the bottom of all the things that I had planned and devastated. I turned to Jesus. I chose to rely on Him, to trust Him. And as a result, He provided me with a good friend in Jenny. We formed a relationship over 7 years, and we're married in 2011, right there at Rolling Hills. I had also, God provided Jenny, I believe, and also provided a ministry called Celebrate Recovery, which I started attending, and God actually said, "This is for you." It was where my recovery work that I'd been doing and my faith that I'd had all my life came together in a way that was profound. Once I found my way into Celebrate Recovery at Rolling Hills, I started a ministry. I was put on mission by the Lord. He had me, and He put me to work. But what I found there at Celebrate Recovery was what we call a step study, where I was able to really take a look at my whole life and find out all of the other areas in my life that really needed addressing. And God was able to help me heal in so many different ways. I went on from there, and not only was I able to find hope and a new purpose for my life, but I found that God wanted me to share that with others. I've literally been in, pre-COVID, we had Celebrate Recoveries that got started in 10 of the 14 prisons in the state of Oregon. I've been inside of all of the prisons and shared my testimony. October 23rd, I walked in, this was the last time I was in a prison sharing my testimony down here in Salem at the Oregon State Correctional Institute, where I had 30 inmates hearing my testimony and afterwards sharing a discussion about how the impact that I had had on them coming in and talking to them. Coming in, and I didn't have to be there, but I was there, and I was sharing the power of God. This is a verse that I found that really summed up where I was in 2002 and how God came to my aid. So do not fear. This is from Isaiah 41:10. For do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This is what God did for me. When I had run out of options and I turned to Him, He answered.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Advent season. We are so excited for Christmas, and right now we're going to be talking about hope. I'm here with my friends, and I just want to hear from you guys a little bit right now. What do you think about hope during this Christmas season? What are some of the things that you're hoping for?
I'm thinking about the baseball offseason, Yankees making roster moves. My hope is for a World Series roster next year.
That's a lot of hope. It's a lot of hope.
A lot of hope, for sure, for sure. Dustin?
I know that for me, as a child, I remember the hope of when you get that JCPenney catalog and you start looking through the toy section and you hope you're going to get something good.
Now, Nathan's young. He doesn't know what JCPenney is, but definitely. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, so, when I think about hope, on a little more serious side, I think about my mom, and, we lost my mom last year, and she just brought so much hope. Her hope in Jesus was amazing.
That's awesome. No, thanks, Scott. For me, I would just say, man, we hope that, the schedule goes according to plan. I hope that I get the right gift for my wife. She's great at giving gifts, so I know I'm going to come out on do well, but I got to get the right gift for my wife. But man, there's so much that goes along with hope. Dustin, you kind of, share with us some of the things that you learned about hope during this Christmas season.
Yeah, really, as we approach this Advent season and as we focus this session on hope, hope is an important attribute that we all need to have. During World War II, psychologist Viktor Frankl found himself desperately in need of hope when he was placed in a Nazi extermination camp. He thankfully survived that horrendous ordeal, but not before personally witnessing some of the worst experiences this world has ever seen. He later reflected on his experience, and even some who died around him, when he wrote, those prisoners who gave up on life, who had lost all hope for the future, were inevitably the first to die. They died less from lack of food or medicine, but from lack of hope. When I think about that, Proverbs 13:12 says, hope deferred makes a heart grow sick. Hope brings drive. Hope and determination. It helps you overcome life's greatest obstacles. It keeps us going when things seem impossible. We all need hope. The prophet Isaiah lived in a time when Israel was facing some of the most difficult times that they'd ever faced. There was famine, there was drought, there was corruption, and outside threats were everywhere. And people, they just knew that these days that they were living in were dark. And some found themselves at a breaking point where they're about ready to just give up. And it's at this moment where God gives Isaiah this message from Isaiah 9, verse 2. He says, the people who walk in darkness will see a great light. For those who live in the land of the deep darkness, a light will shine. This light Isaiah speaks about is Jesus, who defeated the powers of the darkness, and he brings light to everyone, and he brings this hope. Have you ever been in a dark place where you needed just a glimpse of light, a little bit of hope? It's during those dark times that I've been most encouraged by a brother or sister's word of encouragement. Even these guys right here, you guys here, have been that encouragement that maybe I feel alone, but I'm not. And you guys do your best to kind of point me to God and not into the darkness and get me out of my funk. And then there's this hope that you guys help bring me through this community is hey, we have a hope, and that's Jesus Christ. And if he's with us, we can face whatever we're going through.
Man, thank you so much, Dustin. Those are some amazing words and some incredible truth. I don't know about you guys, but I learned a lot about hope there. And you said some key words. You just said, when you feel like you're on the brink of giving up. Not a lot of us have been in that spot, but some of us have. And you saying there's hope around the corner there. I don't know. What do you guys think of when you think of just some of the stuff that Dustin said? Scott, what about you?
Yeah, well, the thing that I appreciated the most is the focus is on Jesus. And that's the whole point of the Advent season, right? It's the birth of our Savior, and that's where our hope lies. And it's just so important to remember that.
And when our hope lies in Jesus Christ, the great thing about that is that it's unshakable. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when we put our hope in him, it's not in other things, it's in Jesus, and it never changes.
Dustin, you said something really cool. You kind of brought in this community focus, and you mentioned us, and I just feel the same way about you. All right, we're all spurred on and encouraged by one another, but we can't really do it alone, can we? Like, we have Jesus as the focal point, but we need a community around us to be able to encourage us. I appreciate the compliment, and I just want to be able to tell you guys, whatever you're experiencing, maybe you're experiencing this in a group setting, like life groups. Maybe you're just kind of going through it as a family. Know that you're not alone in this, that Jesus provides hope, and the people around you can encourage you towards that. I just want to say thanks for listening in on this Advent series, and specifically this word about hope.